JJ, what would you say is the biggest challenge upcoming for JJ Redick as the new head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers? There's a lot that he's going to have to tackle and unfold in these next couple months, but what would you just say off the top is going to be JJ Redick's biggest challenge?
I think it's pretty obvious right now. I think experience with JJ Redick. I know you don't have to have a whole lot of experience, and he has played in the end. He did play in the NBA for 15 seasons, but that still matters in today's game. And you've seen a lot of coaches or a lot of players transition to being a coach, and it takes them a little bit. I know there's some guys that have had success, but guys like Jason Kidd struggled early on. Derek Fisher struggled early on. Steve Nash really struggled. I think that's going to be the big thing with JJ Redick. And I understand he has a great relationship with LeBron, but the question is, how long can they exist with each other? Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, you're right.
But I just think experience is such a big thing in the NBA. It's still a huge, like, chemistry is still really big. Just look at what happened to the Suns last year. But I just think that Redick's going to needs a whole lot of experience, and the adjustments I don't think are going to be a huge problem for JJ Redick, but I just think, again, I keep on saying it, but it's going to be experience for Redick.
For me, JJ, I think the biggest challenge for JJ Redick this season is going to be the ability to balance. I feel like there's going to come a time where he's going to be caught in the middle of this 2-on-2 battle with Jeannie and Rob and LeBron and AD, because their focus, even though everything seems good right now, their focus and their direction of the short future is different. Jeannie and Rob is focusing on the future as far as growth and development. LeBron and Anthony Davis is looking to win right now. So with JJ Redick stuck in the middle, you brought up the relationship with LeBron James, the podcast. A lot of people feel like JJ got the job because of LeBron. At the end of the day, LeBron doesn't sign the checks. Rob Pelinka, Jeannie Buss, those are the ones who bred the butter of JJ Redick. So he's going to have a real tough, I'm not going to say a tough time, but I think his biggest challenge is going to just to be able to identify that, hey, LeBron, this is not about loyalty. I got to put myself over all of that. He has to really identify himself as kind of, being neutral, because I think he is going to be put in a unique position if the Lakers start off slow. So I just think stability is going to be his biggest challenge as far as getting the respect, because he could potentially get caught in the middle of how the players feel like this team should go versus what Rob Pelinka would like this team to go in the near future.
Yeah. And I understand we were talking about free agency just a second ago, but there was a few times, or not a few times, when listening to JJ Redick's podcast, the one player he really loved and talked about a lot was Derek White. And I believe Derek White's a free agent. I know he's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of money, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers try to go after Derek White, because JJ Redick really likes Derek White, and that's another guy that I think we're forgetting about in free agency. So,
do you think that the JJ Redick pick was a good pick? There's not a lot of high profile names that was out there, but do you have a problem with JJ Redick being hired in the first place?
I wasn't surprised he was hired. I think he needs more experience. I thought he should have been an assistant coach for a few more years. I understand there were some problems with Darvin Ham, but I thought the Lakers should have kept at least gone one more year with Darvin Ham and maybe had Redick as an assistant. I just think that Redick, I think you need just more experience. I think you need to be an assistant coach for a few years, and that's kind of my concern with Redick and my problem. So I just think he needs more assistant. I think the Lakers should have rolled with Ham for one more year. I know LeBron didn't want that, but I feel like Redick needed to be assistant before he could be a head coach.
Right. Lakerland, y'all let us know in the live chat and in the comments section, what is going to be the biggest challenge to you for JJ Redick this upcoming season? Because there's definitely a lot that he's going to have to face in the offseason as well as in season. What's going to be the biggest challenge to you guys, man? But just looking at how active Rob has been and the decision that has been made, including, getting Dalton Connect in the 17th and Bronny in the 55th, what type of report card grade, JJ, would you give Rob Pelinka so far for his job in this offseason?
Sorry about that. My camera's not
No,
working.
you good, bro.
But
that's fine.
So far, I think it's a little too early, but if we're grading like 1 through 5, I'd probably give him about a 2 or 2.5, just because I think it's still a little too early. I know Dalton Connect was a good draft pick, but I don't know. I feel like I still need to see more from Rob Pelinka. And I understand he doesn't have a whole lot of. It's still very early in the offseason, but
So if you had to give him a report card grade, are you giving him a C or a D?
I'd probably go with more of a C with Pelinka.
Okay.
But I think it's still way too early. We'll see what they do. Bringing back Russell was a nice addition. Drafting Dalton Connect was what they needed. They needed a shooter. But I think right now, until they really sign someone that really can affect the team right away, I'm going to still grade him a C at the moment.
I'm going to give Rob a B for now. I think the grade for me changed from today to yesterday because Jackson Hayes is now bought in. D'Angelo Russell is officially bought in. So now when I'm looking at this roster, what we have to play with, I feel a little bit more good. I would actually give Rob Pelinka a B because I feel like from the jump, he's done a lot of different things. He's been active. That's number one. He hasn't been lazy. He hasn't been sitting on his hands. That's number one. Number two, he's done what he needed to do to, try to appease LeBron James in his last days. They offered him the max, $50 million over the next 350 plus over the next 3 years. They drafted Bronny James. So he's being active as far as looking at the roster, the personnel. He's appeasing to his superstar. They let it be known that Anthony Davis' opinion is going to be way more valued. So I think they did an interesting job with that. They brought in an interesting coach in JJ Redick. JJ Redick is looking to implement like a phone app that's going to help some of the young Laker players to communicate and, deal with the playbook and stuff. So we got a lot of new creative next generation ideas that JJ Redick is trying to bring into play. So I have been impressed with Rob Pelinka's activeness. I don't think he's made any bad moves so far. Like you said, it is really early. We haven't really even gotten into free agency yet, but they don't have a lot of money to play with. So I don't really see Rob Pelinka being able to do anything of significance other than maybe filling a void or two in free agency. I don't think it's like that. If the buck was to stop here, I'm pretty impressed so far with Rob, what he got going on. I think moving forward, it would be just about trading who you got, shifting some pieces around. But I've been kind of impressed. I'm not going to lie to you guys. For the latest and greatest on your Los Angeles Lakers, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and we appreciate the support. Follow us on social media at Lakerland Show and join our Playback TV room for our free VIP access to our Lakers watch parties and, of course, the Lakerland podcast. That's playback.tv/Lakerland.